Today on our Explore Corner, we're here with the communication supervisor at Nawasa, and they have been doing lots in Carriacou and Petit-Martinique, and you know how passionate we are about Carriacou and Petit-Martinique. Good afternoon to you, Ms. Louise.
Afternoon, Rena, and afternoon to all your viewers on Explore Carriacou and Petit-Martinique. It's a wonderful platform that seeks to engage not just locals within Carriacou but the diaspora. It is something that I follow, and I get to see so much what is happening in Carriacou and Petit-Martinique. So very happy to be here to speak on Nawasa's behalf.
Lovely. And as I mentioned before, that Nawasa has been doing a lot. We know that in Carriacou we do not have streams, we do not have lakes, we depend on rainfall for water. And then came the lifesaver Nawasa. So tell us about what's happening and give us an update. I know there is a project ongoing now. Please speak to us about that.
All right, so the Carriacou expansion project involves a $1.2 million project financed by the Italian government and executed through the Caribbean Community Climate Change Center, that's 5Cs. And this project will see the expansion of the water supply network from 6 roads on to Hermitage. So of course we have 6 roads, we have Lauriston, we have Leicester, we have Harveyville, and then that extension of that network will stop at Hermitage in Carriacou. And it's all about ensuring that there is potable water available for the residents of Carriacou. Petit-Martinique in itself has been connected to Nawasa's desalination plant. So we have a number of customers in Petit-Martinique already connected. Parts of Carriacou, we have Hillsborough, the town is connected to our network. But of course, we had to ensure that we have the resources that we are able to extend on through to 6 roads to the south of Carriacou. And that is what we have been doing with this expansion with 6 roads junction right through to Hermitage. So the main objective of the Carriacou expansion project is to expand the existing distribution system so that potable water can be made available throughout the island of Carriacou. This, of course, will help to increase the island's resilience to withstand periods of drought arising from climate change, and of course to support quick recovery in the aftermath of any natural disaster like a hurricane. Of course, Carriacou, as we know, relies solely on cisterns, but it is always important to note that we see how many times we have a truck-borne supply being distributed to houses in Carriacou, especially in the dry spells. And of course, we can't speak about dry season now because we have an extension of dry season into rainy season. So that is why we decided, understanding that of course it's Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit-Martinique, we are one tri-island state for the expansion of the network. The project summary, overall, it will look at, we are going to upgrade the current SWRO plant. We're going to supply an installation of 12 kilometers of transmission lines and at its accessories, supply and install over 7 kilometers of distribution lines and accessories. And of course, we are going to also have a SWRO plant to the north side of Carriacou. This project got started in December of 2019, and we have an overall completion date of December 2023. At the moment, we have done and completed the feasibility study, which basically looked at how the project would have been executed. We have started the laying of lines, and that is where from 6 roads right onto Hermitage. I think we just passed Alexis supermarket going down. We want to reach to Hermitage junction, and then of course it will be an opportunity for persons to get connected to Nawasa's system. And that, of course, for us is very important, because to have an investment in a water supply system and then you have no persons being connected, it's basically, takes away from your development and Nawasa's trust of meeting the needs of our customers. So in April of 2022, we started.
Before you go on, so just for understanding in local terms, you're bringing water to the house of the people?
Yes. So in local terms, Nawasa will be bringing water from our lines to your home.
Lovely.
And this is what it is.
Is there any reason you decided to start with the southern side of the island?
So the reason why we decided to embrace the southern side of Carriacou first, one, because of the tank's location. The tank is positioned in 6 roads, so it is much better able for us to adequately feed that side of the island. And then of course we have to look at the economics of everything else. You have the marina, you have the port, and those facilities that would require more use of a water supply. And then of course from the feedback what we had persons from Lauriston and those areas kind of requesting more support for the water supply. So hence the reason why we decided to extend firstly to the south of the island. The main contributing factors we've said is because of the position of the tank at the moment. Of course we have plans under the G-Cruise project to extend to the north of the island within the next year, or let's give 24 to 36 months. The G-Cruise project has a completion date of a completed implementation date of 2025. Our aim is to have that aspect for Carriacou achieved by the middle of 2024. Of course, we know we have the hospital services, but the hospital services, have a supply that is meeting their needs. But of course, we will be ensuring that there are going to be additional resources available for the hospital services under the G-Cruise project. We had our first water application drive in April of 2022. Whereby we had over 100 persons visited our booth that was set up by the Lauriston mini stadium car park. We had at that point 30 persons that decided that they wanted to be a part of the Nawasa network. Prior to this, of course, we had a community meeting whereby we invited persons from 6 rows onto Hermitage, and we had that meeting by the Leicester Government School, I think it is, that's close to Kashmir. Right, so it's the Leicester Government School, and we had a fair turnout, and we were able to kind of just run persons through the application process, the requirements. We had at that point representation from the government through the former parliamentary representative, and we spoke to where Nawasa and the government is going, with the development of the water supply network for Carriacou. Because of that feedback and the fact that we are almost to the end of the extension of the project line, we have decided to have our second application drive. And that application drive is carded for the period October 26th to 30th. So in that application drive, we will be at varying points on various days. So on Wednesday, the 26th, at the Lauriston Mini Stadium car park between the hours of 4 and 6 p.m., you will have a team there that can assist persons with the application, drive them through the requirements. And of course, if they do have to come back to produce the required documents, we will be there for at least a 5-day period. The Thursday, we will return again to the Lauriston Mini Stadium car park from 9 in the morning to 2. The reason why we're not having an afternoon session is because Nawasa is one of the major sponsors for the Hillsborough Secondary School Awards. They have an award ceremony that afternoon, so the team will be at the award ceremony. So we're only just going to do the morning part, which is from 9 to 2. On Friday, however, we'll be shifting from Lauriston and we'll be going close to the bus terminal that's in the heart of Hillsborough, because what we've realized is that most persons from our last discussion, they would like to come, but they're walking in the town area. So it is easier for us to engage them at that point. So we have received permission from the Ministry of Carriacou and Peter Martinic Affairs to set up a little tent, and we'll be able to engage persons. So on the Friday, that's the 28th, I believe it would be from 10 to 2, and then in the afternoon from 4 to 6. On the Saturday, we will be in Harveyville in the car park of Alexis Supermarket. We're very thankful to Taddy and his team for allowing us to use their premises for our application drive. And we want to get persons from Harveyville and Hermitage who may not have been able to get us at Lauriston, neither at the bus terminal, to come and engage our team. And then the big day for us is that Nawasa is about being inclusive, and we are very happy to support the corn festival for the first time. When we heard about the corn, I was like, oh, that's a tradition that we need to embrace. And what I can tell you is that Nawasa is community oriented. We always say persons, a lot of persons, receive support from Nawasa. And when you look at a lot of community groups, and when we heard about the corn festival, it was like, you know what? Why not allow our staff to embrace a culture of Carriacou? But of course, we are going to be opening our sub office in Carriacou within the next 2 months. So why not be a part of the process? So while we have sponsored, in the past, we sponsored Peter Martinique they had the primary school sports, and Nawasa was their major sponsor. We've given back in other areas in Carriacou. We thought that the corn festival was a good way to start, because you're looking at culture. And I'm very excited to see how much you can do with corn. So when we heard about that initiative, we decided to. So we are one of the sponsors for that event as well. So we will be there at the Footprint Bar, so you can come out, you can meet our team, and of course we are excited ourselves to try a piece of Carriacou's cuisine, local cultural cuisine. I'm super excited actually. I want to get more than just cuckoo from corn. Let me see if I could store you. I know all this have all the wooden spoon and
and let's see if you could grind corn to make the corn dumpling.
Exactly. I've never had corn dumpling in my life. So I'm very excited to, and I think, it's all of us embracing. And of course, we are also happy, Rena, to support the Carriacou. I think they have this train, how you call it, the Parang train. It is something that Carriacou, also, if I had my way, I would love to have a Carriacou Christmas. Because when I look through you, and I see so many things that you all do from while we have it on a small scale, because I am originally from St. Andrews. And there were, there was actually about 2 groups, and they would go around and they have the steel band. But when I see how much efforts that you put in Carriacou and enjoy Christmas, when we saw that area so we can support the Carriacou Parang train, we also decided to embrace. So, Nawasa is about just being inclusive. Carriacou deserves to be a part of our efforts as Grenada and as Peter Martinique. We've done Peter Martinique. Grenada always embrace us, and we are happy to be able to embrace Carriacou. And if we are going to just start by these 2 activities in the first, because that would not be the end of Nawasa in Carriacou. We are going to open our sub office by the ending of the year, early January, and once we're able to go there, we can tell Carriacou that Nawasa will be a partner with them in whatever area of support. So if you're in Carriacou and you have a medical emergency and you need support medically, reach out to our team. We do medical support in Grenada. We do sports. We do community initiative. So Carriacou, don't be a stranger. Nawasa, while we are not there by an office, but we already have a presence through our desalination system. So we look forward to them. But the application drive, we just want persons to come out. Let us hear. Don't just come and you feel okay. Well, it might be a lot of work. You will not be alone. Our team will walk you through the process. If it is you require additional information, we are going to be there. We're going to be there for 5 days. One of the most important things that we want persons to understand, especially when you're doing the application, one, if you are not the property owner and you are on a property that was given to you by, let us say you're leasing a property, in order for us to have the water, we will require a letter from the owner of the property that give you access, because we don't want to install a water service and then the owner says, hey, I didn't allow John Jane or Jane Doe, So if you are applying and you are not a property owner, it is very simple. Don't be shy. Don't be turned away. You're going to have a security deposit that you're going to pay of $240 that gives you access to water on that particular premises. But of course, we would need information from the person that you have rights or gave you access to that particular piece of property. We just need a photo ID from you as well as the person. The letter that we are going to receive from the landowner must be notarized, because we don't just want somebody to just write and just sign, and who knows, it may not be the owner. So once it is notarized, we know that it is a legal document that we can use if we have to defend ourselves in a court of law. So it must be notarized. And then of course, fill in the application form. It's not a tedious process to get the water. We are willing to work with you. You know, once you do the application, the requirements are made. If you are the owner of your property and you have your deed, your conveyance documents, we get a copy. You don't have to worry about a security deposit. You understand? You just fill in the application form, and we are going to work with you. What it is, we're going to tell you as well that once we do the estimate, there is a payment arrangement plan. So let us say it is $500 and you don't have the $500. We are saying, okay, hey, what? How much can you pay? You say, okay, I'm willing to pay. I could pay $200 now. We say, okay, we're going to give you pay the $200, and we will be working with you for the next 3 months or 6 months, depending on the value. Because obviously, if it is something like a $200, we'll say, okay, we might give you 3 months. If it's $1,000, we might give you 6 months. So please, Carriacou, you know, from 6 Roads onto Hermitage, come out. You know, Nawasa is giving you an opportunity to have another supply. All right, so with regards to the application process, but more than the application process, the connection to get to your property. Like Grenada, Nawasa's mains, so let's kind of run it down. Nawasa's mains are around here. So there are going to be laterals that gets to your property. And once we get to that point, then there is going to be a meter installed on the property, and then you would have to get your pipe from the meter onto your home. So where you can decide to have the pipes in your bathroom, your washroom, whatever area of your house. So of course there are certain costs, because what we do is that we provide all the materials for you. So you don't have to go and get run the pipe, get your own material to run from the main to you. Nawasa does all of that. There is basic costs like the installation cost, transportation, which is a flat fee of about $100. And of course, when all those costs are combined, we give you an estimate. So the estimate would give you an idea of, one, the materials that Nawasa has used in order to get the water on your property. So we're going to give you a breakdown. So there's no way you're going to, oh, Nawasa, your chat was in, but I want to see the estimate details. So we will tell you, okay, we've used 3 lengths of pipe. The cost of the lengths of pipe match the number of pipes that we have used. And then we're going to say, okay, well, we have to use this elbow, we have to use this fitting. So the cost is detailed. It will include the transportation, it will everything. So it is a total package. And once we present you with that total package, then you can say, hey, listen, it comes to $500. I don't have the $500. Can I make a payment arrangement plan? Yes, you can. As I say, nothing about our operation, nothing for Carriacou would be different than how we operate in Grenada. Of course, you know, we are very understanding. So if you have an issue, don't just shy away and say, okay, well, I want to do it. No, come speak to us and we will work with you. At the end of the day, what is important for us at Nawasa is ensuring that, one, you have access to water. We can't be saying that water is life, and then when there is dry spells, you know, and let us say rain's not falling, your systems are not being able to be replenished, then you have to be struggling. We are going to give you the access. So we just invite in person. So just embrace. If you want to use Nawasa's water secondary, that's okay. But at least you have an access to water, and it's not just we running the lines, and no, you have access to water that you can just turn on your pipe. If your cistern is low, turn on your pipe, get Nawasa's water, and have, as we say in Grenada, an ease of living. So it's the same what we're trying to embrace in Carriacou.
So is that water drinkable? I know many people are concerned that maybe it's not.
The quality of water is better for me. I tasted the quality of water. I was there in Carriacou in September, and I was amazed at the quality of water that came from that desalination plant. You know, once we were able to do all the intake work and extend the line outwards, and you know, we had extra processes, you know, to get the water quality is of an acceptable standard. I honestly believe that quality is better than what I am getting in Grenada. Let me tell you, and we are going to make it easier for you. So if you're in doubt, we're going to have water sampling available at Footprint Bar through the Corn Festival, and also at every station that we will be there in Carriacou. So the quality is of an acceptable quality. Remember, we work according to World Health Organization standards. We can't shy out of that. So if it is, for whatever reason, we realize that, hey, someone is complaining, we do an investigation, we do the testing using the parameters established for water by the World Health Organization, and we work with it. But I can tell you, I tasted the water in Carriacou. I enjoyed Carriacou water. So don't feel the quality is of an acceptable standard. Nawasa would not. We don't just answer to Grenada, we answer the World Health Organization. So all our quality of water in Carriacou is of an acceptable standard that persons can embrace.
Lovely. For those who cannot get the water to the house, I know that you have a system where trucks can collect water. Speak to us about that and the cost of it.
So our rates for truck-borne supply in Carriacou, because of course, you know, within the dry spells, the private water truck owners, they normally come and get the water from the desalination plant. So for water distributed via truck, per gallon, it is 0.0237, which works out to be about $23.70 per 1,000 gallon. So let us say you have a 2,000 gallon tank, multiply 23.70 by 2, so you would know what your rate would be. I know in Carriacou, the private truck operators would have their own standardized fee as to truckage fee, so that is outside of Nawasa. But for a domestic customer, it's 0.0237 per gallon, works out to $23.70 per 1,000 gallon. For commercial, however, it is different. So domestic looks at your home, commercial is businesses. So for commercial, it is 0.0295 per gallon, which works out to be $29.35 per 1,000 gallons, and that's before VAT. Water on domestic is VAT free. We don't charge VAT on domestic, so that's my home, your home. But for the businesses, we do charge VAT.
Thank you very much for your informative interview, Ms. Lewis. And to the people of Carriacou, please come out in your numbers to fill up the application process. Ms. Lewis is very hospitable, and I know that she'll take care of you. Long we've been complaining that we do not have water in our house, so this is the opportune time for you to get water in your house. So just run through the dates that you're going to be in Carriacou again first, please.
All right, so we will be in Carriacou from the Wednesday the 26th to Sunday the 30th. Well, actually, those are the dates that we will be out doing the application drive. So on the 26th, 4 to 6 in the afternoon, we will be at the Lauriston Mini Stadium Car Park. Then again on Thursday, that would be the 27th, from 9 to 2, the same Lauriston Mini Car Park. There will be no afternoon session because I've mentioned our team will be at the Hillsborough Secondary School's annual award ceremony. Nawasa is a major sponsor. On Friday, we will be at the bus terminal in Hillsborough from 10 to 2, and then again from 4 to 6. The Saturday, we will be at Alexis Supermarket Car Park. So those from Harveyville, Hermitage, if you're in Lauriston, and it's quicker for you to come to Alexis Supermarket, you can come out and meet our team, and that's from 9 to 2 on the Saturday. And then on the Sunday, I'm super excited because I will be there at the Confest at Footprint Bar. It starts at 12, so we will be there from 12 until, as they say in Grenada parlance, until you say when.
Lovely.
So you will meet our team. You know, we'll have, and listen, we're gonna have giveaways. So if you apply, who knows, you might get a nice thing from Nawasa. It could be credit for when we open our office. You could get $100 credit towards your water bill. We're gonna have promotional items that you are given a chance to win. So we're asking persons to just come out, you know, be a part of this process. As I say, Nawasa is developing. We are developing with Carriacou in mind, and we are starting with the expansion from 6 rows through to Hermitage in the not too distant future, by 2024, we would have already engaged the north side of the island. But the first step is our application drive on the Wednesday the 26th to Sunday the 30th. And then, of course, we will be opening our Carriacou sub-office. Let me tell you how Nawasa is doing. Our entire staff will be from Carriacou. So there will be no Grenadian in Carriacou taking Carriacou work. Our entire staff will be persons from Carriacou. So we are embracing you, and we want you to embrace us. So we look forward to engaging you on those days, Wednesday the 26th to Sunday the 30th.
Lovely. I know you've said quite a lot. I think you gave out all the information you needed to. But for someone who just might have a question, how can they contact you?
All right, so you can reach out to me. My cell number is 405-3770. So you can reach out to me on that number. My email, if you would like to email your questions and I can return it to you, return a feedback to you, is jlewis@nawasa.gd, all lowercase. But as I said, you can send me a WhatsApp, you can call me on 405-3770. So we're always available. We're always available to provide support. And we want to remind persons, the process is very easy. You just fill out the application form. If you are the homeowner, we ask you to walk with a copy of your deed so that we can be certain that the name on the deed is the person that is applying for the water. If you are not, and you have a property owner, have a letter that is notarized giving you access, to have water in that property. It's a simple process. We will be walking you through it, so you're not alone. We will be walking you through it. And of course, Nawasa, together with you, will continue to develop not just Grenada, but we're not leaving Carriacou. Peter Martinique is already connected, so we're not leaving Carriacou out of the mix.
Lovely. And you know how passionate we are about Carriacou and Peter Martinique. I remember when you reached out to me and you say, you know what, things are happening for Carriacou and Peter Martinique. I'm like, we're on board.
Yeah, things are going to happen. I'll tell you are going to see more of a presence in Carriacou, from Nawasa's end. We're always in Carriacou, actually. We're twice a year. As a management team, we're in Carriacou twice a year. We do operational visits in April, and then we do operational visits in September, October. So we're twice a year, but of course with our office, we're going to be more than twice a year.
Lovely.
So we look forward to, working with the people of Carriacou.
And big up to what's his name, Dane?
Dane, yes.
Big up to Dane and everyone at the office in Carriacou.
At the office in Carriacou. These guys are hardworking, and we must commend them for the hard work that they have been doing in Carriacou. From when they had a small net system, to just minute in Hillsborough, and now they have been working tirelessly to get the system up and ready so that we can have the expansion to Hermitage. And big up to Dane and to Nikem and to Bobby, who is with them, on and off. So thank you for your hard work, and as a board, as a management, we embrace you and we compliment you for the hard work that you're doing in Carriacou.
Lovely. And to Maxwell and his team, we cannot leave them out.
Yes, Maxwell and them, the lane of the light. That was quick, quality work. So we want to thank our contractor for, I remember when we had our site visits, Maxwell was like, he said, listen, we are going to work quick. And we were
day and night.
I tell you, we were very surprised at the pace at which, they actually worked to get the expansion up and running. And we want to commend our contractor, Maxwell, and your team for the hard work. And of course, we had our two guys from Grenada that was able to go and support Dane and Nikem. That's Fitzroy Cox and Gerard Simon. Thank you as well, because we realized we needed a little reinforcement. We're not leaving nobody alone. So we had these guys were up, and to the team of the planning and development department, and of course our production and quality staff that is ensuring that the quality in Carriacou is of an acceptable standard. And of course not forgetting our planning and development staff that is coordinating the expansion. We say thank you. Thank you
to you and your team at Nawasa for the great job that you're doing, and we look forward to much more great plans, and we look forward to those. Final words.
Thank you, Carriacou. We look forward to the continued embrace, because Nawasa is not a stranger. Carriacou the Carriacou family, they've always embraced Nawasa. And I remember a few years ago, Mr. Husbands told then Mr. Nimrod, he said, one day we're going to have an office in Carriacou. And Mr. Nimrod was so excited. He said, one day. We said, yes, one day. Mr. Nimrod, you may not be here with us physically, but know that we are going to have an office in Carriacou by early January. We're working hard to get that office operational by the first week in January. So we are committed to the people of Carriacou. We want to thank past governments and the current government for the support, because when we went up recently, Mr. Williams Javan and his team, they were able to do site visits with us, and we want to thank the Minister Tevin Andrew and Javon. But we also want to thank the past government. Kindra was with us throughout. When we wanted feedback, she was there. And we want to thank the past governments, starting from Mr. Nimrod, for their support to where we are today in Carriacou as an organization called Nawasa. So thank you, and we want persons to come out to the application drive. Remember, of course, we are there. Don't feel left, or don't feel that, oh, I can't do. You could do it. You would not be alone. Our team will guide you through the process, and we are going to continue to develop Carriacou as how we are developing Grenada and Peter Martinique.
Dreams do come through.
Dreams
Thank you.
do come true.